Never thought I'd be glad to sail here with a smuggler.
If anyone asks, you never met me.
Suppose this is where I leave you then. I owe you my life, envoy. I won't soon forget what you did. I don't know. It's all just sinking in. I hope the folks at the embassy know where to find a good, strong drink. You don't have to. Just go up the pier. I imagine they've sent someone official-like to take you there.
Must be nice, eh?
Well, it's the Living Land's biggest port. People come from all over. Not all of them are Adir's friends.
Wonder why?
You'll be fine. After the fort, I figure you can survive anything. Same to you. You'll make the Emperor proud. I'm sure of it.
Look, I'll no thank you for showing basic decency. But you saved my life. That counts for something. To me, anyway. I don't push her luck. Not all of them. But it's not a great way to make friends. Give Paradisans a chance. That's why they came here in the first place. Try not to get killed. Nah, I'm kidding. Just don't go around acting like you own the place. Alright? Hope we don't run into each other. Still, take care of yourself.
This is your final warning, Kai. One more, and I put a bullet in your leg.
And here I thought we were getting along. You know, if you just tell...
Hey! Turn around and sail back to wherever you came from. This dock is reserved for the Imperial Envoy. And he's late. Huh. Probably died at sea. Good riddance. What?
Nice.
Forgive me, Envoy. I meant nothing by it. A slip of the tongue. Can we start over? Name's Cynric, captain of the local militia. We're a scrappy bunch, but we know our way around Paradise. Unlike most Adirans who couldn't find their ass with both their hands. Oh, present company excluded. They told me you were godlike, but I didn't know what to expect. Your face, it's so... Ooh, on second thought, why don't I just shut up before I say anything else I regret?
Now there's a good idea.
No doubt you've come for the Adiran ambassador, but he's gone, along with our claviger. Well, he's the closest thing we have to a local authority. Part keeper of the keys, part bald fist.
Paradise's mayor, more or less. Most people out here aren't fond of established hierarchies and titles. So we made up some new ones.
Well, there's some kind of blight in the wilderness and rumors of plague. They went to investigate. Nature has a mind of its own in these parts. When the ecosystem changes, we ask ourselves how and why.
Leaderless and rudderless is the natural state of things in Paradise anyway. Keeps things interesting.
I'm sorry, Envoy, but no one's here to receive it.
Nonsense. There's a small army of pickpockets, smugglers, and scoundrels between those walls who'd be happy to take it off your hands.
Just ignore him.
Where did you say they went? Because I've got an idea.
They traveled northwest to the Strangle Route, past the old Pargroon Wall.
You need to find the ambassador, and I need to find the claviger. How's about we partner up? Claviger Aemond helped me get on my feet when I came to Paradise a few years ago. Last time we spoke, he sounded worried about things. If he's gotten himself into trouble, I owe it to him to help out. The Rauataian Navy didn't teach me fancy words, but I did learn how to count.
Kai, before you go, please keep in mind that the envoy is a respected member of the court. Make sure he comes back alive, or the Steel Garrote will have my head.
Better yours than mine.
The Steel Garrote are here as guests, helping Adirans like yourself keep the peace. Or so they say.
That's certainly what they'd like you to believe. Sounds like their reputation back home in Adir isn't any better than it is here.
They're an order of religious cutthroats sharpening their blades for the glory of the burned queen. Oof, creepy bunch, too. Who needs enemies when you have friends like the Steel Garrote? You tell me, Envoy. The Adirans came to our shores with their soldiers, their bureaucrats, and their cult of murderers. Asking a lot of nosy questions is a good way to end up with a knife in your back. Speaking of the Steel Garrote, fair warning, their leader, Inquisitor Ludwine, is eager to greet you. Or possibly interrogate you. Wait, you know the Inquisitor? Dare I ask how? Well, that must have been awful. I mean, considering everything that happened. I heard she's a monster, the personal handmaiden of the burned queen. But that's not all. They say she fell in battle in the dead fire, and death spat her back out. Yeah, good advice. Thank you, Envoy.
We'll have time to worry about Ludwine later. First, we've got to find your ambassador and my claviger. I'll bet you're glad to be on dry land after that voyage. Come on, let's get you some fresh air. Pargrunen left these beacons all over the island. They're good for finding your way around.
The city's getting crowded. Feels like the living lands is growing milder every day.
Why doesn't the claviger put a stop to it?
Please, how hard is it to answer a question?
I don't trifle with souls.
I've come in search of lost treasures. Have you heard any rumors of such things in the area?
I suppose. First get the thieves, these letters won't turn up.
Build another palisade just like the last. When this one falls, what are you here to do then?
You know, for most people, getting sent to the Living Lands is a punishment. But, according to Cynric, you're the personal envoy of the Emperor of Adir himself. Quite a position. I should ask you for some good campfire stories later. Good to know. Though, people around here have reason enough to be twitchy as it is. Talk of the plague inland has folks stirred up. More than usual. Is that why the Emperor sent his personal mystic to the Living Lands? Oh, that almost does sound like a punishment. I don't know how you investigate a so-called plague of the soul, so better you than me. Being a godlike, I don't suppose your patron deity gives you any unique insights into matters of the soul, do they? I thought every godlike knew their god. That's one of the stranger things I've heard. And out here, that's saying something. Sorry, these are unusual times. I haven't met anyone who's really seen the Dream Scourge yet, but that hasn't stopped people from worrying about the rumors. Refugees are flooding in from outlying regions. The guards are restricting access to the city. And people are making offerings to the gods for everything from hangovers to indigestion, just in case. I like your confidence, just be careful how you express it. Unfortunately, the presence of so many Adiran troops and the rumored exploits of the Steel Garrote paladins supporting them is only making a tense situation worse. I think that's why the Clavenger accompanied your ambassador. I was in rough shape when I came to Paradise a few years back. Clavenger Amond helped me get settled here. If he's gotten into trouble, the least I can do is help him out of it. Especially if he's following up on rumors of the Dream Scourge. But what about you? What's your stake in things? Besides your orders, of course. Just be careful where you say that. That's the kind of talk that may get people thinking you've got the Dream Scourge. I'll let you get some rest, but thanks for talking. It's good to be part of a squad again, even if it's just for a while. It's the gateway to the Living Lands, a scenic port city that's as beautiful and dangerous as the wilds around it. Most visitors enjoy some mariner's porridge at the Ballarrock, a back alley shakedown, and then the sudden return of that porridge out of one end or the other. Then, if they've got any sense, they turn around and take their chances back where they came from, with authentic tales of their adventures in the Living Lands. It also has a reputation for making corpses out of people. These days, we have a few more would-be adventurers trying to leave their mark on the place. The Living Lands means a hard-won second chance for the people who settle here. But first, you've got to survive it. And the island gives no quarter. For a lot of people, the Living Lands is a last resort. They come fleeing war, debt, famine, the law. Take your pick. For others, it's freedom. To seek glory, to redefine yourself, to live in a way you can't, maybe even on pain of death wherever you come from. Little of everything. Rawatai is famous for storms and rocky soil, so I figured if I'm going to live in a hostile environment, why not pick some place where things grow? It seemed like a good idea at the time. Used to be, if you could last out here, you could count on being left alone. That's what some fear. Hilgard's new embassy and his alliance with the Steel Garrote smell like the authority and order that a lot of people came here to leave behind. But I don't mean to put that on you. I imagine you're tired of having to answer for every Adiran who sneezes into somebody's stew. They say people afflicted with it have strange, vivid dreams and start confusing them with reality. What starts as a light daze becomes severe disorientation and eventually a bent towards chaotic violence. And then, fungal growths take over your body. So Dream Scourge. Well, you seem pretty lucid to me. I wouldn't worry. Still, if you see any new mushrooms sprouting up anywhere unexpected, let me know. Until then, look on the bright side. The Living Lands is filled with people and things that are likelier to kill you first. So did my commanding officers. That must have been 6 years ago now. I guess I was drifting, looking for a change. A settlement called Thirdborn. It's a rugged little place, lots of Rawatayan expatriates. Yeah, something like that. Anyway, we were talking about something else, yeah? I joined up with the Rawatayan Navy as soon as I was old enough. I was part of our campaign to establish a foothold in the Deadfire Archipelago. Part of a long-term effort to reclaim our ancestral homeland and feed Rawatai from Deadfire's fertile soil. I believed in that mission. Additionally, we were helping Deadfire, bringing organization to the pirate-ridden archipelago and civilization to our distant Juana cousins. Yeah, the Juana didn't want us there. We spent almost as much time fighting the tribes as we did pirates and Wilder. And it was hard to see how any of our fighting and dying was feeding people back home. I'd always heard that war was supposed to temper us, strengthen us, but I didn't see that either. Some fell apart. Some bought into the cruelty that our continued presence required. Others didn't buy into it, but went along with it anyway. And that bothered me more somehow. I deserted. And I bounced between different mercenary companies for almost 10 years. Hey, not all of us catch on so quick. Besides, there were only so many options for a Rowatayan deserter with no training and anything else. As a mercenary, I figured I could at least choose my battles and my crew. You figured it out faster than I did. It was more of the same. The only comfort was being part of a squad. By the time I came to the Living Lands, I'd seen enough, had enough. Yeah, though in a lot of ways, it feels like I didn't really start living until I got here. Look, if I can give you some hard-won advice, stay on your toes. You're in a difficult position. Whatever your role asks of you, make sure it's something you're willing to give. Because you're the one who has to live with the consequences. I figured. What gave it away? My finely pointed teeth? Or the striking blue of my scales? Fair enough. My people are known to roam. Rowatai's hardly a hospitable environment. Many of us end up settling elsewhere or making a living on the go. That's where you get the popular image of the Amawa bodyguard or mercenary. Don't sell me short. I've also been a drifter, a middling carpenter, and a terrible card player. We should play sometime. I'll show you. Then you must have come during our sunny season. Lashed by storms and battered by waves. We call it the rough country. And old trenchers say it's made us who we are. We do a lot of digging for irrigation, drainage, warfare, the occasional village tournament. Anyone from Rawatai has spent enough time in some kind of hole in the ground to be on a first-name basis with the worms. So, trenchers. Those of us who leave are scramble roots, hardy weeds that can survive just about anywhere. You'd fit right in with the Ranganui's inner circle. It's true that the same things that make Rawatai a difficult place to live have shaped our people and our kingdom. Our coral masons have built living harbors and fortifications along the coast to protect our ships and shelter our cities. For all our shortage of fertile soil, Rawatai's land is abundant in saltpeter, copper, iron, most of the other materials you need to outfit your military with weapons and cannons. We value struggling and striving together. It helped us survive and build one of the most powerful navies in Aora. It's been hard won across a variety of conquests, cooperatives, and trading colonies. Some of the traditionalists worry that prosperity is making us as complacent and soft-handed as our rivals. Same as traditionalists everywhere. Me, I prefer the simplicity of the Living Lands. Kill the thing that's trying to kill you, and hope it has some edible meat on it. I'll tell you what I can. Should I break? I'll be here if you need me. After your voyage, it must be nice to spend the night on dry land. Personally, I've always found the rocking of a ship to be soothing. As long as I've got my feet facing the bow, that is.
Soon enough, the docks won't even be safe.
Watch out once you get past the palisades. The Stranger route is apparently hostile to life, as the scholars say. Wait a moment. Oh, Birth, eat my soul. You're the envoy. Sorry, didn't mean to be so informal. They said the Emperor sent one of his best and brightest, and Aethys knows we need the help.
Your reputation precedes you.
I hope your voyage here was smooth as good butter. I know maybe too much about rough seas, what with serving in the galleys. Did you deserve it? Kidding, kidding. Sorry to hear, envoy. The living lands is dangerous. We should be sticking together. Can't imagine what might have possessed them to do that. Hope it isn't the damn soul plague. I haven't seen anything like that before. It seems to change people. Animals. Feels sometimes like the plague is alive somehow. Sorry for the glib tongue. I've tried to be more proper before. Didn't work. I'm no good at niceties, including abiding by most rules. The law and I aren't exactly the best of friends, no. Although, I think that's Adia's problem. I was mostly just stealing food. If you're born to the wrong social class, Adia makes climbing the ranks rather difficult. Anyway, that's all in the past. Mostly it was petty larceny. Sometimes it was spiteful larceny. Got caught when I helped a pretty girl rob her husband. I got caught for my many small, petty crimes and spent about 6 years on the prison galleys. Then, a year ago, an Adiran official came to the jails and told us we could serve the Empire for a shortened sentence or rot. You can guess which I chose. Oh, you're a funny one, envoy. Free. Am I free after this? And they say the Adiran elite have no sense of humor. All in all, it's a pretty sweet deal. 3 square meals, bed of my own, maybe even a chance to retire as a clerk. Wouldn't mind being bored stupid for a few years. Better than the alternative. But first, even more palisades. He and the Clavager passed through not long ago. I didn't much like it, but they refused an escort. Less competent than he seems. You think with all the time the ambassador spends working, he'd have more done. No, I hear he's about a sneeze away from swallowing the muck he's paddling in. Poor man. Hot-tempered bastard. I think the ambassador's scared of him, but won't do a thing because the Clavager keeps the wheels turning. Good at its job, though, purportedly. Bad about his confections. Sweet tooth like a hummingbird's. He and the ambassador make a good pair, honestly. The ambassador talks a lot. The Clavager gets the administrative day-to-day done. Honestly, I'm more scared of her than Woduka. At least I understand why the Burned Queen is so pissed. Ludwine runs the Steel Garrote, Woduka's order of paladins. The only thing they care about is their Burned Queen. There's honor among thieves, envoy. But zealots, they'll raise the world for their god. About Adir, that same hungry empire that is looking to gobble up the living lands. The one that sends people out to maybe die for its ambitions. Kind of you to ask, envoy. The truth is, not really. Adu is fair and good to the people it thinks deserve compassion. But break its trust, and well, Adu will make you crawl to retrieve the pieces. You can tell it's a place that worships Wodica. Actually, I miss the pies. The crust's all wrong here. Just take a look down the road, and you'll see the last palisades we tried to hold. And the ones before them. We're trying our best to keep the wilds at bay here, Envoy. The strangleroot is hungry. Every day, it gets closer. Every day, weirder creatures crawl out from its foliage. Be careful if you're headed out there. Anyway, Palgrunin beer is surprisingly terrible. Always trust in a Mauen to know where the best seafood is. Pay attention when the locals tell you something. And watch out for poets. Something's odd about them. Listen, Envoy. I'm here to build defenses against the land. You want geography lessons? Go ask a cartographer. I do know a few things, though. So, ask. No, none. It's all untamed wilderness and feral heathens. I'm joking. Of course there are. There's Fjord, which is run by animancers. Thirdborn, where all the ruffians dwell. And Solus Keep, which has the Palgrunin, who don't like anybody. And happily, too. Sounds like they've got a whole colony of inventors and researchers there. If I want a servant of the Adiran Empire, I might say it sounds fascinating. Groundbreaking, even. I know animancy is considered blasphemous and dangerous, but Fjord supplies most of the produce we eat here in Paradise. They must be doing something right. Miscreants and layabouts and all those great things. The kind of people who can make a life out of impossibly bad situations. Settlements just as rough and tumble. Wouldn't mind having a drink with the locals, to be honest. They sound like they've got stories. You know what I mean? Heard they're under siege right now, though, by those dream thralls. Wouldn't want to be them, between the desert weather and that. I mean, the Palgrunin dwarves won't talk to anybody. They stay inside Solus Keep and just never come out. Once again, I'm no cartographer. But you know what they say about continents with small acreage? They've got big personalities. Little bit of everything here. Poison swamps, deserts, snow-covered mountains, volcanoes, acid seas. Because why not? A cartographer might be able to tell you more. I hear there's one in town. That it lives up to its name. Wilder place than Adu, which has been stomped into civility. The living land scares our empire, I think. Otherwise, it wouldn't be sending its most expendable folk here. Present company excluded, of course. I think the living lands won't want to be leashed by the empire, though. But that's my opinion. I've been here a while. I don't know. I mean, I know some people in Adu think of godlike as blessed by the gods. What with you lot having a divine resemblance and all. Although, I guess some folk think godlike are cursed. Depends on what sort you are. Frankly, I don't know if I've seen your particular kind before. Still, I think there are stranger things than you in the living lands, Envoy. No offense, but more importantly... Ask them then. You're a nice distraction, Envoy.
Your armor could use some work. Let's check the watermill for supplies. Look, Paradise in Latin.
Incoming Zara.
Those Arabs must have been scavenging supplies too. We make a good squad. You got everything you need to fix up your armor. Let's head to camp. Yeah. Nice work. That'll help against whatever we face out there. Right behind. Even Pargrunan walls can't stand against this place. Another glorious battle. This one's mine.
Seeps through here. Who poisons us? We cannot see.
Didn't used to be this overgrown. I can take care of that if you want. Ready, aim. Unseen, unheard. I got a bad feeling about whatever that bear's chomping on.
Next one's mine.
That's a bad way to go.
Stand back.
It's almost like the brambles are trying to crush that house. Zarups. They don't usually venture out of here. I wonder what's got them riled up.
Watch the left.
Coming in hot. Quiet as the depths.
The scourge invades. Claw it out. It breathes. It is close.
That's the claviger. What happened?
Are you blind? We're being hunted. Get rid of the band. We'll talk after.
You're mine now! On your right!
Take that, you monstrosity! Well done!
What happened to that bear? I was just getting warmed up.
My savior. Oh, thank the gods. Your arrival couldn't have been more timely. I wouldn't have stood a chance against that beast. I owe you my life. Ambassador Falchion Heelguard at your service. And you must be our Imperial envoy. Better late than never, I say. Oh, pity you were too late for the Clavager. Damn good fellow. Aren't you going to introduce me to your capable companion? Can he be trusted? I found it pays to be prudent about the company you keep in Paradise. The Empire doesn't have many friends on these shores.
Hey, not with that attitude.
I'm charmed. I take it you had business with the Clavager? Poor fellow. It was the bear that killed him, of course. This wilderness has been a little too wild of late. Envoy!
He raises a fair question.
On my honor as your countryman, his death was not of my doing. Let's speak no more of this. We heard alarming reports of a blight in the wilderness, and a strange corruption moving toward the city. The changes in the ecosystem are expected, but this one was progressing too rapidly to ignore. We tracked the corruption all the way here, but all we found was that creature gone mad. So, the rumors of plague were true. The situation is more dire than I imagined. We need a plan of action before whatever this is consumes the living lands.
We are here. Come to us. Commune with us. We have waited for you. Come.
What's the matter? Can you hear me? Fascinating. The Emperor trusts your judgment, and so do I. Whatever you think is best, I'll support it. You know something of our troubles. That much is clear. What would you have us do? You suspect a connection. Interesting. Ardra is said to be filled with essence, soul stuff. Maybe the essence will respond to a godlike's touch. Oh, just be careful. The Emperor would never forgive me if anything happened to you.
Take it slow. We'll be right here.
Could this pillar of Ardra be connected to the plague?
It is you. Come closer. We feared you were but a dream. We wake from seasons of slumber. We have been waiting. A colony of insects, the many united by one purpose. Mycelia twining through the loam, taking and giving in equal measure. We are the ache in the land, the roots that run deep. And you are familiar to us. Our memories are fractured, But you too are alone in your strangeness. Godlike. This term means nothing to us. But why would you belong to another, shackled to their will? Shackled like us to rot and corruption. It spreads and festers and seeps and crawls. Poor bear. Poor us. Poor you. Yes, the air sings with its spores. It is everywhere. We can feel it. We fear it. We can see where it spreads. It is an infection. A foreign body invades. The host fights back. We feel the pain of this intrusion. It overwhelms us. If an animal sickens after a fight, as it howls and sings its agony, what do you do? Nurse it, care for it, grow it like the vines. We were loved once, perhaps. We remember, almost. A thought, like motion in the water. The rot festers. We could suck the poison out, let green things grow in its place, and we could give you the gift of our healing touch. But a favor for a favor. Would you help us in return when we ask it? A favor for a favor, then. This place shall heal, and you shall know our power. We tire. New again this world, new again words. We will find you soon.
Incredible. Envoy, I don't know what you did, but that was miraculous.
You all right? You look like you were in a trance for several minutes.
What happened? What can you recall? Spare no detail.
I've said the same thing after a flask of Eric, but I know better than to trust that feeling.
I think you may have overexerted yourself. Once we're back in civilization, bed rest is in order. Inquisitor Ludwig will need to hear of this. I've agreed to share my findings with the Steel Garrote, as long as they do the same. Not that she has any interest in ecology. Ludwig is obsessed with our security, sees enemies lurking around every corner. Ah, I heard that you two had a connection. Well, she is as you knew her, for better or worse. The Steel Garrote provide us some much-needed protection, but they answer only to themselves. We have our interest in the living lands, and they have theirs, a mutually beneficial arrangement. Stay out of their way, and they'll return the favor. Make sure and use that to your advantage. You never know. It might come in handy. We'll talk more at the embassy. I'll ensure the Paradise militia give you free passage into the city. Envoy, what you've done here is truly amazing. Let's keep up the good work, eh?
Just watch your step. There are swaths of the city barely more civilized than this.
The loss of the claviger will be felt in every corner of Paradise.
Whatever the Inquisitor's like, she can't be worse than that bear. Can she? You are full of surprises, Envoy. I'd heard God Knights have strange powers, but I've never known one to heal an entire grove. Guess your Emperor really did send the right person for the job, huh? Still, you have your work cut out for your Paradise. Enjoy the calm while you can.
The path to Paradise is a tad overgrown, but I can find my way back.
By the way, now that we've gotten to know each other, let me know if you want to train together. I've been watching your form, and I think we could learn from one another. We should be safe enough, but I'll take watch, just in case. I haven't seen this much excitement in a while.
Outlander. Well, well. If it isn't the new arrival. So eager to make a name for himself. We have a problem, all right? And I've got the solution tucked in my sheath.
Unless you're hearing that from a handsome stranger in the bathhouse, that's usually an invitation to trouble. And not as fun as the kind you get into in the steam.
Me and Pod, we aren't so fond of Outlanders. Especially ones looking as strange as you. For all we know, you're one of those sick bastards. The plague carrier. A blight on our fair city.
Boss, he's trying to bewitch us with weird words!
Shut up, Pod. Let me do the talking.
You're doing great so far. Really menacing.
No one brings the plague into my town, Outlander. No one. At least you can die knowing it wasn't personal. Oh, poor thing. Did I hurt your feelings? Because that's a good start. Ha! Let's make it quick. You're not the only one with places to be.
Good. I was getting tired of listening to them anyway.
Oh no! No! Just like the good old days.
Nice banner, ain't it? I found it on the beach, covered in bird shit. Must have washed ashore from parts unknown.
Welcome to Paradise, Envoy.
Good work out there, Envoy. Only just arrived and you're already the talk of the town. Well, the ambassador ordered me to give you free access to the city. No idea why he's calling the shots all of a sudden, but...
That sounds ominous.
Anyway, you can go on ahead. The ambassador's expecting you. Well, she comes and goes. You never know where she'll turn up, and it's never for a good reason. Kind of like a nightmare. Once you're in the city, you'll find the Adiran embassy due north of the gatehouse. Take care, Envoy.
What? No parting words from me? After all the time we spent together?
Shove off, Muttonhead. How's that for a parting word?
With talk like that, it's no wonder the Adirans think we need a little civilizing. At least I'm in good company now. Right?
Don't mind me. Just doing my job.
Envoy!
should be free, whole, the blood feeding your veins. Why are you here? Your soul seeks us as a stream returns to the ocean. We did not bring you here. We do not want you here. Not in this prison where the gods live and the dead wait. We are trapped like wasps in amber. But you should be alive. This place does not matter. The branches of your life were pruned. An arrow broke the skin. It carried poison to your veins. A festering blot of corruption spread through the root and sap. It stilled your heart. It silenced the song in your mind. They hurt you, but we do not hear rage hissing in you like a serpent. Why? Soften. Quiet. You would accept the winter before spring, but you do not understand. Your soul is imprisoned here, as are we. But we can help you. We could send you back. Just this once. The minnow can slip the fisher's net, even while the prize remains. And the fox chews its leg off to escape the hunter's snare. It is the only way. We will use our waning strength to free you. Then you must find us. Free us from our prison. Immensely. Breathe deep. All birth is agony.
You're awake? Thank the gods. For a second there, I thought I had a problem on my hands. A voice? Tell me more. Fascinating. I wish I could tell you what it means, but this is new territory for me. Your friend here carried you halfway across the city. Made quite the spectacle.
Probably not the grand imperial entrance he was aiming for. Glad to see you with us. I was sure you were already on your next trip around the wheel, but I brought you here just in case. If anyone can work a miracle, it's Liviana, though whatever restored you is beyond even her skill. A voice? I take it you don't mean Liviana ordering me around.
There's something I still don't understand. Envoy, you died. Don't get too excited. When you play with life and death, there are bound to be consequences.
What does this mean for him? Should he expect anything else strange? Other than coming back from the dead, I mean.
That depends on a few things. Visions and hallucinations? Likely. Manifestations of past lives? Uncommon, but possible. Sounds like the echo of a past life. I wish I could tell you more. This is far beyond my expertise. You should visit Runid, our local watcher. She would know what to make of your strange, stubborn soul. I don't blame you for your misgivings, but Runid is the real thing. Go and see for yourself. A watcher examines the soul down to its very core. I can't think of anyone more qualified for the job.
Sometimes it's easier to ask for forgiveness rather than permission.
Runid's shop is in the hills to the northeast. A bit of a walk. Just head out of the gate to the east of town and follow the path that curves to the north. It should be perched up in the hills. Oh, but avoid the Watcher in Hightown. She's a known charlatan. I'll send word to the ambassador that you survived, but he'll no doubt want to talk to you. Head up the stairs outside my clinic and take a left onto the main road. That'll get you to the embassy. Apologies. Paradise is a bit of a maze, especially to newcomers.
Don't worry. I know my way around. Which is why I should go with you. Your assassination is bound to have stirred things up. Your troops are going to be on edge until your killer's found, and some of us still have to live here. Hey, my schedule was clear. Besides, I don't want this to blow up any more than you do. The sooner we solve your murder, the better for everyone. And we should talk back at camp. I'm hoping you can help me understand what just happened to you.
In my dream, you were surrounded by light, but it was shining from inside.